Jurassic Park, 1990, by Michael Crichton. In the dusty heat of a dig site, Dr. Alan Grant and Dr. Ellie Sattler were unearthing the secrets of the past. Their work was interrupted by John Hammond, a man with a white beard and a grand vision. He invited them to a remote island called Isla Nublar, promising a biological preserve that would change the world forever. Alan felt a spark of curiosity, unaware that the past was about to become very present. When they arrived at the island, the sight took their breath away. High above the lush, tropical canopy, a massive brachiosaurus reached for the treetops. This wasn't a fossil, it was a living, breathing creature. Hammond explained that they had used prehistoric DNA found in fossilized amber to bring these giants back to life. Ellie stared in wonder, her heart racing as she realized the impossible had been achieved. Not everyone was convinced by the wonder. Dr. Ian Malcolm, a mathematician who wore black and saw patterns where others saw magic, issued a stern warning. He spoke of chaos theory, explaining that complex systems like a dinosaur park are inherently unstable. Life will find a way, Ian insisted to Hammond, his voice dark with the prediction of a disaster that no computer or fence could prevent. Ian's warnings came true sooner than anyone feared. A computer programmer named Dennis, driven by greed, sabotaged the park's security systems to steal trade secrets. As a massive tropical storm rolled in, the power flickered and died. The hum of the electric fences vanished, and the heavy gates groaned open. In the dark, rainy jungle, the prehistoric residents were suddenly free to roam. The tour vehicles stalled right in front of the Tyrannosaurus Rex paddock. Out of the shadows stepped the king of the dinosaurs, its skin slick with rain and its eyes glowing in the dark. As the creature let out a deafening roar, Alan Grant acted quickly. He moved to protect Hammond's grandchildren, Lex and Tim, shielding Lex from the monster's path as the T-Rex began its terrifying attack. While navigating the jungle to find safety, Alan and Tim discovered something that chilled them to the bone. Tucked away in a nest of soft mud and leaves were several hatched eggshells. The park scientists had claimed the dinosaurs couldn't breed, but nature had ignored their rules. Alan and Tim realized that the island was no longer a controlled park. It was a wild, growing world that belonged to the dinosaurs. The danger grew as the smaller, faster predators emerged. Ellie Sattler and the park's warden, Robert Muldoon, set out on a dangerous mission to reach the maintenance shed. They knew they had to restore the power to save the survivors. As they moved through the tall, wet grass, Muldoon kept a watchful eye, sensing that they were no longer the hunters, but the hunted. Inside the dark, cold maintenance shed, Ellie worked frantically to flip the breakers. Suddenly, a shadow shifted in the corner. A velociraptor, sleek and deadly, hissed as it lunged from the darkness. Ellie barely dodged the creature, her heart hammering against her ribs. She realized the raptors were far more intelligent and coordinated than anyone had ever imagined, and they were everywhere. Back at the main center, Tim took a seat at the computer terminal. He had always been good with technology, and now their lives depended on it. With Lex standing guard at the door, Tim navigated the park's complex security grid. His fingers flew across the keys as he worked to reset the systems and lock the doors before the predators could get inside. As the sun began to rise over Isla Nublar, the survivors scrambled onto a rescue helicopter. Alan and Ellie looked down at the receding island, watching as the dinosaurs reclaimed their territory. They had survived, but they carried a heavy lesson with them. Nature cannot be contained, and the past is a power far too great for any man to truly own.